the doorway to nightmare. Come in. Welcome. I'm your host, Artemis Black. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a hand for a hand, a foot for a foot. The words come from the book of Exodus. Their meaning is that the punishment should fit the crime. And while people have argued for centuries over so-called justice, there are always those who are somehow caught in the middle.
More coffee?
Huh? Oh, no. Thank you.
Well, if you don't want any more coffee, how about a nice friendly chat?
No, I'm not really hungry.
David, will you quit pacing and talk to me? I don't remember when the last time we had a conversation.
I'm sorry, Becky. I just can't stop thinking about this case.
Well, what does the lieutenant expect of you? Miracles?
Yeah, well, right now I wish I had one. 20 million people in this city. I only have to find one.
Have you tried the classifieds?
Yeah, very funny. Becky, look, this is serious. 10 people have died in as many days. And all of them the same way.
Dare I ask?
And they were all burned. Alive.
So you do have a suspect?
Oh, sure, yeah. I have a suspect. All of the victims supposedly saw her just before they exploded.
Exploded? You said they were...
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Who is your suspect?
Would you believe a beautiful young woman in a red dress?
Faulkner, about time you got here.
I'm sorry, Lieutenant. I was interviewing the sister of our latest victim.
What did she have to say?
Well, the same thing that everybody else has been saying.
Our Lady in Red again? Who the hell is she?
I wish to God I knew. All anybody can tell me is that she's beautiful with long blonde hair, amazing blue eyes, and wearing a long red dress.
And no fingerprints, no DNA, absolutely nothing found at the crime scenes.
Yeah, no connection with the victims. That's what's got me stumped.
Yeah, no connection.
And the way that each victim died. It's horrifying. Lieutenant Albertson, I'm going to throw out a term, and I don't want you to laugh.
At this point, I'm up for anything.
Yeah, ever hear of spontaneous combustion?
You mean where a person just bursts into flames? Yeah, I've heard of it. But isn't it a myth? You know, somebody smoking in bed and falling asleep.
Yeah, supposedly, yes. It's just a myth. Explained away by science. But I've been doing some research and... well, it all fits!
What all fits?
Okay. All of the victims were burned alive. The funny part was that no other part of the room, including where the body was, came into contact with fire. The chairs, the bed, the floors, the ceiling, nothing. Only the bodies were burned.
Yeah, but the ME said that it was probable the suspect used some chemical on the victims.
Yeah, I checked with the fire marshal, as well as the university. There isn't any such chemical that exists. And if there were, they really want to know about it.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, hello. I didn't see you when I got in.
Story of my life. I guess I was made of glass.
Are you here to meet someone?
I have some business with Detective Simon Fuller.
Oh, you helping him with the Tanner case?
Oh no, a much older case.
Well, I'm sure that he will appreciate anything you can do. And by the way, that's a remarkable red dress you have on.
It's a special dress, one that I've had for years.
Well, Detective Fuller's office is to your left.
Thank you, David. I'm sure that we will meet again.
What the hell?
Walker, call an ambulance.
Lieutenant, what happened?
It's Detective Fuller. He's been burned alive.
No, hey, Kate, catch that woman.
What woman?
The one going towards the stairs. That one. The one in the red dress.
David. There isn't anyone there.
The first recorded case of spontaneous human combustion is in the 1400s in Milan, Italy. A knight named Polonius Forstius belched fire after drinking strong wine. The most recent case was Michael Faraday in 2010. While he was found near his fireplace, no explanation of his burned corpse can be found. I'll be back with Act 2 shortly. There is a Chinese proverb that says, "The fire you kindle for your enemy often burns yourself more than them."
I talked to Simon's wife. Memorial service is Thursday.
Thank you, Becky.
Any idea what happened?
I saw her. Damn it, I saw her!
Who?
The woman in the red dress. She called me by name.
Is that so unusual?
No, Becky. She called me David. My first name.
So why would she do that?
I don't know. I don't know anything. 11 people dead, all by fire, and not a single clue to go on.
Except a beautiful young woman in a red dress.
David, are you going to be okay?
I know what I saw, Lieutenant. It was her.
All right, I believe you. Let me show you something.
What is this?
Take a look at the picture. Is this the person that you saw?
Yes, that's her. Look, Martha Holmes. Okay, so who is she?
10 years ago, she was tried, convicted, and executed for the murders of 13 people. She burned them to death.
So what does she have to do with what is happening now?
I'm not sure. I got to thinking about the fact that there was no connection between our victims. And then I remembered this case.
Holy... Lieutenant Albertson, why didn't you tell me this before?
Because I just remembered it. It was 10 years ago.
All of the victims were on the jury that convicted her. That's the connection.
So what are you thinking, Detective?
Someone, maybe a relative of Martha Holmes, is taking out revenge for her conviction. We have to do something.
There are only 2 more survivors. I'll dispatch units to make sure nothing happens to them.
Wait a minute.
What? What do you see?
The last name. On the list of the jurors. Rebecca Samuels.
What about her?
Lieutenant, that's my wife's maiden name.
Of course I remember the case. How could I forget? One of those pictures of the crime scene gave me nightmares for months.
Becky, why didn't you tell me when we first met?
Well, it's not something that you normally bring up in conversation, honey. But what does it have to do with me?
Until we catch this maniac, I don't want you going anywhere alone.
You think I'm gonna be...
No, honey, no. At least not if I have anything to say about it.
What have you found out?
Nothing that you're going to believe.
People bursting into flames isn't enough?
Well, I did some digging. Martha Holmes didn't have any family. No siblings, no parents, no children, absolutely nothing.
Okay, so some nutcase has decided to...
Yeah, I checked the records. Her last words before they fried her was a curse. That in 10 years, the entire jury, including the judge, would die.
Oh, now wait a minute. Are you actually saying that it was some maniac who just happens to be dead, made some curse, and now she's come back to fulfill it?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Detective, I think you need a long vacation.
Well, then you come up with a better explanation.
Yep, a very long vacation.
May I help you?
Rebecca? Rebecca Samuels?
Well, it used to be. It's Faulkner now.
You are so beautiful.
Is there something I can help you with?
You don't recognize me, do you?
I'm sorry, but I don't. Have we met before?
You could say that. Do you like my dress? My red dress?
These 8 words the reed fulfill, and ye harm none, do what ye will. The last lines from the Wiccan Code. However, there are some who believe that this is an antiquated way of thinking, and a curse is a fulfillment of revenge. I'll be back shortly with Act 3. Curses are strange things. Many times they work because the victims simply believe in them. But that's not the only way they can make an impact. Numerous famous curses have shown that belief is only part of the equation, and that a well-placed hex can have a tangible effect, even when no one sees it coming.
Detective, go home. You've been here all night. What are you working on?
She was a witch.
Who was?
Martha Holmes. She practiced the darker side of Wiccan. Her victims, they were sacrifices.
Are you seriously telling me that our suspect is a crazed killer that was executed 10 years ago?
That's exactly what I'm telling you. Anderson, I don't really believe it myself, but there are 11 people dead.
Make that 12.
What?
I just got word. Judge Malcolm Pierce exploded into flames right outside the courthouse.
Were there any witnesses?
A whole street full. They said that the judge was talking to a woman a few minutes before he died.
A beautiful young woman with blonde hair, blue eyes, and wearing a red dress. And that only means one thing.
What's that?
I've got to get home. now. Becky? You home? Becky? Becky!
I thought you would never get home.
You. Where is she?
Dear Rebecca Samuels, she is well, I can assure you.
Why? Why do you want her?
I thought I made that quite obvious. My master requires 13. I will rule alongside his glorious kingdom. But I need 13.
You got your 13 before.
No, they murdered me. So now, I'm back to complete what I started. In there, the bedroom, everything is ready.
Becky?
David, please
Becky!
help me.
No, don't go near her. I will set a fire with a wave of my hand if you try to interfere.
David, please.
It's okay, honey. It's gonna be okay.
The hour approaches. My master will be pleased. Foolish. Do you think that your puny weapons will hurt me?
David!
Becky! I will reign forever!
Ow! Ow! It hurts!
I've got you. The fire's out. I know. It's okay. No, it's not too bad.
No. What is going on? No!
I read the transcript of the trial. You shot your mouth off a little too much, Miss Holmes. Your spell was supposed to be spoken during the chimes. The hour is up. You lose.
No, I did everything right. You promised me.
David and Becky watch in horrified fascination as Martha Holmes bursts into flames. The only thing that was left of the witch was a small pile of ashes. I'll be back with a final word. If you are pondering the thought of using the dark arts for revenge, let me remind you of another part of the Wiccan Creed. Mind the threefold laws you should. 3 times bad, 3 times good. You see, whatever you do can, and most always will, come back to you. Our cast included Mick Davis, Jemma Mitchell, Crimson McKenzie, and Winslow Swan. The story was edited by Crimson McKenzie and directed by Winslow Swan. And now, a preview of our next tale.
So, this is it. The final. I'm really dead, but am I? I'm lying in this coffin, but shouldn't there have been some sort of, I don't know, a bright light? Or a figure to guide me into the... No, none of this makes any sense. And yet, I am lying in a coffin, so I must be dead. Right?
And this is your host, Artemis Black, inviting you to return with us to the doorway to Nightmare for another adventure into the terrifying world of your imagination. Until next time, slumber peacefully.
Epilogue. The butler did it.